Hello 2D designers and welcome back to the visual book. In this screencast we're going to talk about choosing our type style, our font selection, and I'm going to show you an easy way to try out different fonts so that you can find one that in its form expresses the idea of your quote. So let's turn off our large letter E. Get that out of the way and come over and choose our type tool. And up here I found at this point it's easier to make sure you have 60 points might be a good size. I'm going to come in here and click and drag over, and this populates with lorem ipsum, which is just a default fill of type, but you can go ahead and type in your phrase. I will type in I choose joy over despair. All right, now we can highlight this, and up here is where you start choosing your fonts. Arial Black regular is what the current font is, but if you drop this arrow down you can see all these other fonts, and as I am going over the font you can see it's actually giving you a visual preview of what that might look like. So we can just move this over just a little bit more so you can see that. So just to say a few words about some of these fonts. When they have flourishes at the top and bottom of the letter, those are called serif fonts. Those are typically considered older styles. This one, for example, has no flourishes at the top or the bottom of the letter, and that's called a sans serif font, and it is considered more contemporary or modern. All right, now I had found I really liked this one, Shri. There we go. I just liked how open this was. It just feels like a breath of fresh air to me, but it's also very direct and emphatic. So once you have selected your font, then you can break them up into the fragments of the phrase that you want to use. To show you that, I'm going to turn this large E back on, and I want to bring this layer up above everything else so it's in front. And the other thing I want to do is change the color to white. So I'm going to click here once, and now I can click and drag over this and switch this to white. Just click away from that. There we go. So now I have the font that I want. Also, there's something else that I've done throughout the working on this project, and I actually want this space up here to read as the cover. So I'm going to go up to image rotation 180. There we go. And I also want this font to be rotated. So I can just go to edit, transform, rotate 180. And now when I bring this down, do you see how well this white contrasts with that background? And so now I'm just going to take this at the end and delete that. I will make a new text box for that. I want to add 3 dots here. Make that big enough to show that. And I just want to bring this down a little bit in size. Yeah, I choose with 3 dots. I like that. I choose. And I'm just going to pull those dots off of the brackets here because I don't want it to get involved in any folds. And then the next word that I want to choose, I'm going to choose the font tool again. Right, so now we'll get, there we go, we've dropped in lorem ipsum again. And I'm just going to type the word joy. Take away all this extra. And in this case, I'm going to highlight that joy, change it to a bold form, and then I'm going to pull it down here and make it much larger. Doing this with the type tool just so that I can get this box to fit that more closely. Going back to the move tool, this is where we want this. Okay, so I choose, it's going to be on the cover, and then this is our double page spread. I choose joy, and I'm also going to have the word over, and you'll notice I'm clicking way up here to try to get these words started. Let me pull this in the front. There we go. And I'm going to make this one not bold. I want it to read as the same weight as the other ones. There we go. And a little bit smaller. Okay, so it'd be I choose joy over, and my next word will be despair up there. I'm going to work on that in a minute. But to add a little bit more to this area, I'd like to put in another visual element, and that's what we're going to do in the next video. We're going to talk about how to make a selection and copy and paste another element into this design. See you in the next screencast.